dive, get straight to everything. Based on, what do you think was helpful about our first session, if based on the feedback that I gave you?
So, well, I think this is now our very first session, right?
Yeah, what I meant was when you joined the mastermind, and I was talking about like the things that we're going to work on. Did you find that session helpful?
Well, so to be honest, I haven't kind of like well, I thought so. What you said, like, it makes kind of like sense, kind of like the thing with the boarding on like sales rep, and then kind of like freeing that part of the business off from my schedule. I think that was resonating with me, and yeah, but I mean, I didn't spend too much time other than that to kind of like think about this in more detail now. So I'm kind of like you have it there, like a empty sheet and ready to start what you think is best to move forward.
Okay, got it. And is there something that you like really want us to cover in today's session, just to make sure that it's
yeah. So when I was the last like couple of weeks, it was really like when I think to up level, for example, I kind of like hit the stage where I was not sure what I should do next. Kind of like this guidance was a little bit missing. I mean, I didn't watch all the videos. I haven't watched any videos in terms of paid advertising, but I know that that's probably going to be like the two next steps: paid advertising, and then obviously when the traffic is coming and strategy sessions are being generated, that I would very quickly probably would need help from somebody like from a sales rep or something like that. So I think these are the thing, but I kind of like was not sure how to start or where to start in this regard. So I'm looking forward to kind of like get your experience on this. And
okay, sounds good. So right now, I'm just looking at your numbers. Right now, your situation is around roughly 22K GBP, correct? And your goal for the next 90 days is to get to 30K, and over 6 to 12 months, it would be to 100K a month. Is that correct?
yeah, makes sense.
Got it. And so have you and so your product, if I remember correctly, is 5K GBP or 5,800?
No, it's 3,800 GBP.
Okay, so
not like 58, like 3,800. It's about $5,000.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what seems to be the biggest challenge right now?
I think, well, I'm not doing like advertising. I did like a webinar that I did, and I got 2 more customers from the webinar, but I'm not doing organic and I'm not doing paid advertising really. So it's really, I think that's where I would like to go. First of all, pushing a little bit more I think, yeah, where to start with ads. It's should I just focus straight on YouTube, or still give Facebook a try in that medical field? I'm not sure whether or how you would find radiologists there. And yeah, I have no experience with ads whatsoever. I'm not even using Facebook personally. I just have like a Facebook profile because I think it was in one of Sam's courses that he was talking about that. But so I'm kind of like not having a lot of experience there. And I think the question is when to add a sales rep. Would I wait until I have no time anymore to do these sessions, or even earlier? Because I feel like based on like up level is kind of like based on if you do this full time and your day is completely filled with strategy sessions and you can't do anything else, that's when you pick up the sales rep. But I think I'm a little bit in a different position as I'm doing this part-time. So I probably have to take one up earlier, but then that has the disadvantage that there won't be enough strategy sessions probably for them to really being incentivized to do it. I'm not sure how whether they probably serve multiple clients or whether you just have like, so this is kind of like where I don't know where to start.
Got it. Are your calendars like if we were to say, if we were to give a number on your calendar availability, let's say you have 10 bookings open this week and they're all completely empty, that would be like 0% capacity, right? But if you had 10 bookings available this week and all 10 of them are fully booked, then that would be 100% capacity. What percentage of your capacity is filled up?
At the moment, I don't have actually any booked for the next couple of days. So, and then this week was also very calm. I had a couple last week one that I converted, but March was very quiet for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. But as I said, like I was not publishing YouTube videos and I was not like doing any kind of like list farming stuff like that. So I kind of like let it go a little bit to get kind of like a little bit of a rest, because January and February were very demanding in terms of my regular job. So I was quite welcoming this change. So normally I can do that's the problem. So normally I can do the strategy sessions in the UK evenings from 8 to 10 or 11. So maybe 2 or 3 technically on 1, 2, or maybe 3 evenings only, because the other evenings I have other program. And now I'm opening slots on Fridays also during the office hours. So I don't have too many slots available anyways, like I would say maybe.
Okay. So if you are like right now, how many slots do you have available?
There should be some. So I open up some afternoons and I'm booking like, I think 7 days ahead. So I'm not. So these are in 15 minutes incrementals, but it always books an hour. So it's actually probably 3 there, right?
So there's 3 over there. There's 1 over here. That's not bad. I mean, it's completely empty. So I'd say right now, it seems to me that the main bottleneck that you have, hold on a second. It seems to me that the main bottleneck that you have is probably your calendar space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at your numbers as well, and there's a few things that we can do just to quickly optimize.
Yep.
And I'll walk you through right now. I'd say right now, with your close rate being 56%, right? Yeah. Is there any problems with the show rate? Do all of them, like how many people show up?
All of them. So if I get clients or potential like prospects from India, I typically write them an email beforehand and tell them, hey, I've done 100 calls with Indian people. None of them are buying. Here's the price. If that's an issue, then I have to cancel. And then I cancel. They don't write back. So Indian doctors, they don't have the amount of money to do this anyway. So I kind of like don't even do the calls with Indian doctors anymore. There's no point. I did it initially when I started last year, but I've done many of these calls, and I think I got like 1 client, and I don't feel the time is worth doing these calls. So I just write them an email and kind of like cancel the call. They never do anything else. So, but all the others, they actually show up. So I don't have no shows.
Okay, got it. So here's my 12-month roadmap for you in order to get you to 100K. This is actually quite simple because if we just break down the math, 22K divided by 3,800, right? Let's say we don't change the price. This would be around 6 units, 30 divided by 3.8, that would be 8 units. And then 100 divided by 3,800, 3.8, that's 26 units. And that's at your current price point, okay? Mm-hmm. If you're telling me that the show rate is 100%, the close rate is roughly 50%, and this just means you need 12 calls, 12 strategy calls. This means you need 16 strategy calls, and this means you need what 52 strategy calls. So the biggest bottleneck that I see right now, and we're going to solve this one at a time. So this is just a game of business, right? We always try to identify what the bottleneck is. We fix it, we de-bottleneck the business, and then your results just skyrocket. Then something breaks, you find a new bottleneck, you fix that, and that unleashes the next level of growth. The current bottleneck, I would say, is the number of bookings that you have. Would you agree?
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
There's a few strategies that you could do. You can literally do this instantly, like literally tonight, to generate more bookings. I had a look at your business diagnostic, and the first thing that I would do is your email list. If you're not doing any emails, just send an email straight to your YouTube channel, and that can probably generate a few more bookings. Or send an email.
What do you mean, send an email to the YouTube channel?
Yeah, so you could indirectly send to your YouTube channel, like one of the videos. For example, I know you had a video that's like top 10 radiologists or top, like where how to learn radiology, you know, those kind of beginner videos. If like you already put in the work right there, like you already put in the work to film that video, to edit that video, why not just drive more eyeballs onto it? Because you know that for a fact that it does generate strategy calls, right? It's proven.
So, you mean like, so I sent like the YouTube video to the email list. That's what you said.
Yes. Well, so yeah, exactly. I would just send them directly to YouTube. So that would be indirect, or you can send them directly to the schedule page, right? actin.org/schedule. And you could easily, if your email list is like 1,000 people, you could probably fill up like the next 2 or 3 days, right? You could just fill up the next 2 or 3 days, and there's probably like 2 deals, 3 deals there already, just from like a 10-minute action from your end. Right, that's a 10-minute move. Midterm, I would say like for the next 30 days. It seems to me that like YouTube channel is quite effective, but it does require a lot of time, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I would just continue with this first then. Just keep this instant. Because you already have a lot of YouTube videos, you can just I'll create a custom strategy for you. So I would say send, how many emails can you commit to each week?
Well, what do you think is like a good number before everybody starts unsubscribing?
I won't even worry about unsubscribing because like for us, we send 2 emails a day. For us, we send 2 emails a day, but for you, I think, because it's important to keep the list engaged and warm, right? You don't want that email list just staying there and then you're not interacting with them. And so I would recommend just 3 a week. This is very low, like a minimum, I would say 3 a day, 3 a week. And you can send 1 to the YouTube channel, 1 to the schedule page, and maybe 1 as a testimonial, right? I'm sure you have like some testimonials of your students or people sharing the results. So this would be a really good kind of schedule to aim for. And these emails don't have to be anything fancy. If you've sometimes like these emails sometimes are like just 2 or 3 sentences, and just say, hey, this is like for me, I say, hey, this is just Zoda here. I help X do Y with Z. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually offer a free consult for, say, radiologists to help them improve their MSSK. If that's something you're interested in, here's a link to book a call. It could really just be that simple. And you send them directly to the schedule page, and it's going to fill up. Yeah, trust me. If you only do this like right after this call, it's going to take you. If you do just this email alone, it takes you 15 minutes. You're probably going to fill up at least the next 1 or 2 days. And because your email is 1,000 people, that's the easiest thing you can do. Midterm, I would say, like, say for the next 90 days, what we can do is what we can either focus on ads, which there's a learning curve and obviously requires capital, or we can focus on YouTube organic. Now, both of them are going to require time from your end anyway, right? But I know for a fact that It really depends on your goals, whether you want to learn Facebook ads or whether you want to learn YouTube ads even, or whether you want to just continue with what you already know to be tried and true with your YouTube channel. At this moment, what do you have in mind?
I think I would like to try ads actually, just because I think it's kind of like the next step. I mean, the organic YouTube stuff, I want to keep doing this anyways. The first 2 months now, we're just very busy, and I really want to also batch producing so that I get more efficiency out of the time. And then, yeah, so that's certainly something I will continue to do, the organic stuff. In terms of just producing little 5 to 10 minute videos with some little tricks, and then eventually not even pushing too hard on the fellowship in these videos. It's really more, yeah, or maybe I should. I'm not quite sure how I should do the organic stuff and always send them to the fellowship. Ideally, I should probably, right? What do you think? What do you have in mind with the organic kind of like thing? Because currently I'm just doing not too much of advertising on the YouTube stuff. So
got it. I would say with your YouTube videos, what you can do is just like create a promotion. So let's say maybe in April or May, you can just create a simple video, 5-minute video, just sitting down on the camera and say, hey, this is Christoph, Dr. Christoph Acton. I'm sure you guys have watched our video. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we actually have a fellowship program for the musculoskeletal. Talk about your offer. Now, here are some of the results that we've achieved. So testimonial 1, testimonial 2, testimonial 3. And if you are a radiologist, so qualified people, if you are who we typically work with are as follows. Here, I'll write down the script for you. Introduce yourself, then social proof. I should say 3 to 5, before and after testimonials, and then talk about like who I work with, who I don't work with. You want to qualify the people, and then you do want to disqualify people. Like who we typically work with are as follows: people that are radiologists, they really want to learn how to read better scans. Maybe they're struggling with X, maybe they're struggling with B, maybe they're struggling with C. Who we don't work with are people that are as follows: like if you don't have the income, if you cannot invest in yourself in your career, if you cannot, I don't know, if you're not even a radiologist, or if you're like a nurse, I don't know, maybe you do work with nurses, but if you aren't these types of categories, then we just don't work with. Now, if this sounds interesting, here's a link, call to action. And then you just send them straight to the schedule page. And so this, if you simply do this, this would easily book up your entire calendar for, once again, a few days, because your typical videos get around 1,000 views, right? Minimum.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So once again, this is a very effective way, and it's, once again, this takes like what, 5 minutes. YouTube
just
video.
Just talking head.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to be more fancy, you can probably do a quick. Do you know Loom? Loom. Loom.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, I'm sorry. Okay, thanks. I can get some for next week. Sorry about that. Yeah. So you were saying, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I was saying that it depends on like the best way you express yourself. A talking head video, that's perfectly fine. Or you can just use a Loom, which is a Loom, right? LOM.
Yeah, screen recording and stuff.
Yeah, that way you can even show them the student results if you guys have a reviews page, or you can show them some of the behind the scenes on what exactly they're signing up for, the course. You can show them behind the scenes on the Zoom calls if you guys record them, and that way it's just a lot more visual. And I imagine that especially with radiology, it's a lot more visual. So
yeah,
kind of helpful.
Would you talk about price? Because I get quite a lot of like question, how much does it cost? Because before people even sign up for the strategy session, they are just interested in the price, because I never talk about price in any of my videos.
That's good. Don't talk about the price. Just say that the price is going to make sense, and we're going to come to a financial arrangement that you feel comfortable with. Right. Another way you can talk about that is that everything is custom, so that the most important thing right now is to make sure that you're actually a good fit, that we can actually help you. And as long as
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, then the price is going to be custom. So that's the first thing I would do, like the YouTube video. You can even do this immediately too. I won't call it midterm, but it's a bigger undertaking than just blasting an email, right? This takes 10 minutes. This might take, I don't know, an hour on top of writing the captions and all of that. And you can also email the people. And the great thing about this is that you can also email people to this YouTube video to generate a second round, right?
Yeah.
Or even a third round or a fourth round. You can do this every month. It becomes evergreen, this evergreen video.
Always the same, so you don't do a new one, I would assume.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, okay, good.
So I think this would be really helpful. Now, before we even even start ads, I really want to squeeze the most out of what we've already got. And so it's funny you mentioned price, because how do you feel about increasing this price?
I think it would be okay. I started off with 3K, 3K GBP, and then because I had quite a good closing rate, I thought I'd just increase the price. Didn't affect it. I think it could easily go up to maybe like over 4,000, like 4 or 5 or something like that. So although I never close on the call, but that might be something from the doctors might be a little bit more cautious. I've got a lot of women in my program. They always have to talk to the spouse, and in some countries, it's still a lot of money. So I think there will be probably some point where I will be losing clients, but currently I think it's going well. So we can certainly increase the price.
What do you think is a confident price? Like if you were to sell me as a radiologist, what would be a confident price that you're 100% sure you have the conviction
that it's justified? I think probably like maybe something like, so I always have to think in US dollars and Swiss francs because I'm not very.
Just think in pounds. Pounds is okay.
Yeah, I have to always think, I always translate this back so in Swiss francs because I'm not very much. Let me just try this here.
Pounds is okay. Let's stick with pounds because everything.
Yeah, sure. That's all right. Okay. I think somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds, somewhere in that range. I'm not sure if it would make sense to adjust pricing depending on country. Charging the Americans a little bit more than, for example, Eastern Europe countries, or maybe having even an offer for Indians. But I'm not quite sure how that is. So typically people recommend not having a separate price for low income. So if they want to do it, they find the money. That's what they say. Yeah, so I think maybe 4,500. I think that would be probably still not making much of a difference in terms of resistance. Just 600 pounds more.
I would say start with 5,000. Just be a bit more ballsy. Just go for it. The reason I say that is because, man, your close rate is 56%, right? Yeah. Is this mostly full pays or split pays?
Say again?
Is this mostly full pays, like paid in full, or split pays?
Not most. Yeah, so I've got a couple of split pays, but most of them pay in once. Yeah.
Okay, just jump to 5,000. Don't even hesitate. When I see this, like even when I was going through your business diagnostic, the first thing I would change is the price.
Okay.
Because I think you can, from 3,800 to 5,000, that's not going to do much to your close rate. And so you can even try 6,000 or even higher, like 6,800, something like that, right? I would let you decide.
And then accept like a drop in the closing ratio. Is that?
I don't think this would result in a drop in closing ratio. What it might result in is more split pays. So you're still going to get the deal in, but you're going to generate more rev.
Okay.
Yeah. And the way I almost think about it is that every month that passes, with your price point being anywhere lower than I'd say anywhere lower than 6,000. 6,000 or 7,000 is basically like an extra 10 or 20K that you're leaving on the table, right? And so this is a very, once again, like you can see a lot of the a lot of my plan that I'm telling you right now does not require much work. Sending an email takes 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, right? Creating a YouTube video, this might take an hour, but you can recycle it over and over again. It's gonna work for you over and over again. Changing the price, it just requires a commitment. You tell me what the reasonable price is and you commit to it. So let's say it's 5,000, you commit to it, and then you give it a test run for maybe a month, for maybe roughly 30 calls, I would say. And just don't panic. Just stick with 30 calls. Like no matter what, just stick with 30 calls. And then you can report back to me with the numbers, or you can just probably have like what you're actually gonna find is that what I've actually heard is that when people sell at a higher price, they actually have more conviction of their own product. So their close rate, ironically, actually increases when their price is higher. And so, and I've seen this happen. I've actually seen this happen with, for example, one of my reps. Recently, we raised our price from for the mastermind, for example. You entered at 30K, right? Recently, I sold at 45K, just to be fully transparent with you, right? For my third and fourth student in the mastermind, I actually sold them at 45K, and there was no problem. With the flagship program, on the other hand, it used to be 5,800 US, but recently we raised our price to 1,700, and our rep took a little time to kind of calibrate, like maybe a week or two, but then now he's actually closing at 35 or 40%, when previously he was closing at 20%. So literally doubled. And so these moves that I'm giving you, I like them because they're very, like, it's gonna, altogether, it might take you like just a day to implement. Yep. And you can already immediately see a huge ROI. Huge ROI. So I would even say like this month, you know, do these things, right? And so, is there anything in this plan that we've kind of talked on that you want to add, or you're hesitant?
No, I think I will do that. Like in terms of price, do you use like 5 or 7K, or do you go to these like 5.8 or 6.8? You know, just kind of like, you know, these strange numbers where you just don't want to show the 5, so you make 4.9 out of it, or something like that. Or is that not like, or you would just go with?
Yeah. So I'll tell you how I did it, and maybe that would give you a good base. So I basically started from 2,000, then I went to 3,800, then I went to 5,800, then I went to 7,800. And then the next price point that we're going to test, actually, 10,000. We actually sold somebody at 10,000 last night. And so you can see like the jumps that I'm making are typically like 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. And so if you really wanted to follow my framework, then you can even sell it. Just go for 5,800 GBP, right? Whatever that is in US dollars.
That's a lot. That would be 7,600 US dollars.
Yeah, I would just say try 5,000 first, right? 5,000 first. Let's see.
So yeah, so the clients I'm getting, they are not like, I have a couple from the US, but most of them are from countries where I would say they are not making vast amount of money, like how you would expect from what radiologists are making, like for example UK. So it will be in a range of more than 1 month income for most of them.
Got it. If that's the case, then offer a split pay. You know, that's still okay. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing already, like with a lot of people, like 2 installments over 2 months or 3 over 3 months. I didn't go like broader. Like.
Yeah. The reason I even prescribe this is because your close rate is 56%, which is really good. And your show rate is 100%, which is like, it's unreal. It's most people tend to be 60, 70%. And in terms of and mostly full pace, that's the best thing, right? If you told me your close rate was less than 30%, then I won't make the suggestion. If you told me that you're getting almost all split pays and no full pays, I won't make the suggestion. But because your close rate is so good and you're getting so many full pays and your price point is relatively low, that's why I have conviction that this price point is not going to be a problem. So this is very safe, 5,000. If you can just test it out for 30 calls, if you're feeling even more confident, then jump to say 6,500 or 7,000, up to you. But just with 5,000 alone, that's all we need to know. The 5,000 is pretty safe.
My initial goal was to increase price only when I have like version 2 out of the program, but that's gonna take a lot of time and work, obviously. So I think.
Sorry, say that again. Conversion 2.
My initial goal to increase the price was when I was switching to version 2 of the program. But I think you're right. So there's not so much of like, and if somebody doesn't want, okay, let's do it. I'm thinking about somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000. Yeah, and then just stick to it and try it out through 30 calls.
Fantastic, great. So if you're happy with this plan, then that's really all you need to know at this current moment in time. Okay. And if you only implemented these strategies, you can probably hit. I mean, you will 100% hit 30K, and you might even hit 100K just by implementing these strategies. Right. So imagine what it would look like if you were sending 3 emails each week to your list. You have a YouTube channel that almost like a mini VSL, more like a product video, like where you're sharing your product, sharing the results, right? Similar to a VSL, but much shorter. And then you can just send people onto this each week. And now, so you have a very powerful asset over here. And now you even have a higher price. If you simply implemented all of these strategies, you can see that you only need 20 units, right? Then you only need 20 units or roughly, I would keep around 50 strategy calls just to hit 100K. So it's not even going to take you 6 months or 12 months. If you just did these things, you'll be there.
But I would probably have to provide more availability for the calls, wouldn't I? Because during the week, there are some limitations there.
See, right
in terms
now,
of time zones, in terms of time zones and stuff like that. So
it's possible, but right now I won't worry about it because your calendar is like empty.
Yeah.
So I won't even open up more slots until these are fully packed. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what I would do because your bottleneck is increasing bookings. Right. And there's going to come a time when you increase so many bookings that you can no longer take any more calls. That's when it would make sense to bring on a rep.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you recording your Zoom calls?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Definitely start recording your Zoom calls. Otherwise, you have to train. You have to train your rep, right?
Is it allowed to do it in terms of, or you just asked them? Because technically data protection laws, etc., make it difficult. For example, you cannot record phone calls without the other party let you know that you're doing this.
Are you doing it on Zoom or a phone call?
Depends what they prefer. It's either WhatsApp or Google Meet.
Oh, wow. For us, we just use Zoom, and then whenever we record, there's like that little pop-up, like this meeting.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all. That's it. They typically just say okay, and then.
But you just let them know you are recording this for training purposes, or what do you say them?
I don't say anything because
you're just recording it.
No, like because they know, right? When they show up to the Zoom call, and then before the meeting starts, they tell you that the meeting is recorded by the host, and so if they click OK, that means they accept it, and so nothing to talk about. But if they say, if you might get a few people that are like, hey, I'm actually not okay with this call being recorded. Is it okay if you stop? Then okay, totally can respect that. You can even ask them why, but then just turn it off. And so just respect that.
would you stop offering WhatsApp and phone calls and switch all to Google Meet calls, video?
I've never done WhatsApp or phone, so I can't comment on it. It sounds like
Okay.
it sounds like it's working for you, so I won't change any of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Interestingly,
but-
some like Americans seem to prefer phone calls. I think
oh
they're a
really?
little bit old-fashioned. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, and I think sometimes it has also to do with depending on the time zone. They might still be at work, and they might not have capability of having like a proper phone call on a piece, video call somewhere. But I think yeah, that's good. So I can record those calls. Certainly on Google Meet, it's very easy to record.
Okay, sounds good. So this is basically my kind of roadmap for you, right? So current bottleneck is to increase the bookings.
Yeah.
The way we solve that is literally in 10 minutes, you can just send them straight to a schedule
So
page.
every week, 3 emails.
Every week, just 3 emails. You can bust it out in like one night and just schedule them out, right?
I'm using Active Campaign.
Cool. That's awesome. And then this month, just create a YouTube video. This takes you like maybe an afternoon, and then raise the price. You can just start this immediately as well.
Yeah,
this would be easy. So
I have my video sales letter video, the 20-minute video. That's I think it's a really good video from a marketing perspective. It resonates very well with the people, and I'm wondering whether I should or should not publish this on YouTube, or is that something that you typically don't do because you want them to watch the video there to get their email addresses, right?
got it. I've seen this work quite well for other niches. I know Sam does it. Sam does it, especially like that's gonna fill up your calendars like crazy, especially with your subscriber count. And so I personally don't do it. I personally don't do it, and I don't think you need to do it right now. Because we're already changing quite a lot of things already.
Yeah, you're right.
And so we want to keep it as stable as possible to find that new normal.
Yeah.
And so does all of this make sense? I mean, this is just your first 30 to 90 days, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that right away. Yeah.
Okay, great. Now we can talk about the next bottleneck, because once you solve this bottleneck of increasing bookings, your calendar are gonna get fully booked, and so your next bottleneck will be calendar availability. Now, if you've already recorded all the Zoom calls, this would be perfect because you can just recruit and train and ramp sales rep to KPI, which is closing at, I would say 25%, just to be very, very conservative, right? That would be your next bottleneck, and that's something that we can focus on, like in I'd say Q3, right? So this is just the next 90 days, Q2. This is something we can focus on in Q3. If you can do this, you would have effectively created a machine that prints 100K for you on autopilot without you even doing the calls. All you do is just blast them with 3 emails a week, which takes you maybe an hour each week, batch them up, schedule them. The YouTube content, which is something that you enjoy doing, right? But it does take some time. And this new price point, which is validated. If you're doing 5,000, then you need 20 units. If you're doing 7,000, then that would mean 14 units. So it's going to be even easier to get to this goal. The more you raise your price, the easier it is to get this goal.
Sure.
The second effect that this has on the new price, and why it's important, is because it attracts better sales reps. People don't want to work with someone that's like if a sales rep comes to you and they want to work with you and they realize you're doing 22K GBP, then 10% of that commissions is like 2K, right? They can't live off of that. But if you're already doing 100K, you already have this proven, and they're getting 10% of that, 10K GBP. Wow. Now suddenly the story becomes a lot different. Like, I'm going to work hard for Dr. Acton. This amazing opportunity. The offer is proven. The price point is proven. The lead source is proven. This is perfect. This is like the perfect environment to make a lot of money. And so that's why the price point is important, because this enables you to get a sales rep, recruit, ramp, and train them to KPI. Number 2, This is also going to help us unlock ads, which might make sense at this stage, or it might not. We might not even need to tap into ads because your organic is so strong. But if we do start ads, then having a $5,000 product is going to give us a really good buffer, because it means we can probably pay $2,000 cost per acquisition maximum. Our product pays around 1,000 cost per acquisition. And so with 7,800, we're getting like 8x ROI, cash ROI, which is really healthy. So this is where you're going to start unlocking, I'd say, either YouTube ads or Facebook ads. I've tried both. To be honest, like recently I'm using YouTube ads, and one of our best targeting keywords is actually radiology. So I know for a fact that the radiologists are on YouTube for sure.
Yeah, there are many of them. Yeah.
So that's a conversation for another time, for Q3. But that's why I hope you can see that I'm planting the seeds right now in the Q2 in this quarter, so that we have fertile grounds, we have everything we need in order to maximize your success for the rest of the year, right? Because this is a long-term play. And so this is what we're going to cover in Q3. And then Q4, you're going to have new challenges, right? Now that you're increasing your bookings, now that your bottleneck is no longer calendar ability, it might be just getting your reps to perform at KPI, close reps. Like ramping up sales reps is a different ballgame compared to what you've done so far, which is setting up the tech, product market fit, generating leads. Building out a team is another ballgame. So you're gonna have to create culture. You're gonna have to create like these weekly meetings to check in on them. If you find a really good sales rep, like the ones I have right now, they perform without me even. I don't even talk to them. I talk to them once a week, and they're happy. They're self-motivated. We have a lot of fun. They share memes to me. I give them congratulations. I pay them well. It's a really good dynamic, and that's when it might make sense. So I would just focus on this in Q3, and potentially this in either Q3 or Q4. And at this point, you're already generating 100K cash. It's more about buying back your time, right? And that's what the sales rep is going to help you do. And we want to hold this level constant. First with you, where you're selling 20 units at the new price point. And then with the rep, when they're selling 20 units on your behalf, so that it frees you up, like literally buys you back it's a full-time job, right? It literally buys you back your whole life, basically, off of the calls. So you can focus on the things you love. So does this make sense so far?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And so I think we can achieve this no problem. If you just did what you did right now and just raise the price, you're probably at 30K already. And if you did all these things I told you, like lead gen, price point, and this, then you can probably make 100K using what you've already got. We don't want to change too many things at once.
Is there like any reason to so at some point I was playing also around with webinars and live streams, just trying different stuff out. Is there any? Well, there's no reason not to do it, right? It's all under organic anyways. We just create more awareness and content, as long as I have the time to do it, obviously. As I think it's quite, I like doing it anyways, but it would be, or would you just focus on what, just do that and don't do anything else?
Yeah, I would just do this and not do anything else.
Okay.
Those things work, right? Those things work. And to be honest, there's an infinite amount of things that we can do that works. But there's only one or two really important things that move the needle that takes like just a few hours, but gets you immediate and dramatic results. And these are the things that I laid out. Because I can do TikTok ads. I can do YouTube ads. I can dance around in my scrubs and on TikTok to get leads, but is that the best use of my time? It's not. And so these things, if you only did these things, and even if you went on a vacation or even if you went on vacation, if you only batch these things and you did it like did it this quarter in Q2, you're already really setting yourself for a strong foundation.
Very good. So the other question would then be, so far I was trying to have one YouTube video a week. This was kind of like my pace that I was having, just to put, just to provide the community with some constant information. I would try to at least probably still try to do it, I think, in addition to what you have there. Or would you kind of like stop and keep the stuff I'm having there like it is, because I was not doing a lot of videos over the last 2 months, and I'm still getting 500 subscribers every month just from my old stuff, basically. Or because I'm not sure whether that it would not interfere with the stuff I have here, right? So as long as it's time efficient.
Yeah, you can definitely do it if you have the time. At the end of the day, like, time is our main bottleneck. So if you do have the time, then it can definitely help. Do you have like a YouTube strategy, or are you just creating videos?
Yeah, I'm just, I see an interesting case, I do something, or I'm not having like a roadmap or like, a publishing plan. This is all very much random.
Got it. How do you drive views to your YouTube channel?
I publish on LinkedIn, Reddit, and Twitter. That's it. So the rest is then basically they just find it from YouTube search. Because I make very specific small bits. So I'm not giving a lecture about the whole topic, right? Because nobody finds that. I pick one pathology, I pick one structure, or one region. And when they Google for example, I don't know, plantar plate tear or whatever, then typically my videos, they come up.
How long does it take you to create a video?
Maybe depending, anything between 2 and 3 hours, maybe, depending on how much editing I want to do. And at some point I was trying external editors, but I figured I have to supervise so much, it doesn't make sense. So I just prefer doing it myself and put in some emojis and memes and stuff like that. I think some people like it. So
wow, yeah, you have a really good following. Like it's really engaged.
Yeah, no, it's so perception is very good, and so I'm not quite sure what it is, but I do something different than most of the people. So I think I know what it is. It's kind of like my approach to the material of a very I can make things easy to understand, if that makes sense. So there are a lot of good radiologists out there, crazy good radiologists. They have also YouTube channels and stuff, but even like offering fellowships like I do, but I feel sometimes they tell me that they are going into too much detail or they show not the relevant stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah.
Okay. To be honest, you can just send people to this video. Like, you don't even have to film a new one.
Yeah.
This looks good. You could just send people to this video, like literally, like if you don't have time.
I think I would make a new one, because I've got now Q&A sessions down to October. I'm now 50 community.
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good. I would just send them straight to this.
Yeah.
Straight to this, or like a new version of this.
I think I'll make a new version. Yeah.
Okay, one person has the price. I won't even worry. Like, just say, to do this should not be about. Okay, yeah. I would just say, like, don't worry about the price. We can talk about this on the call, or like, don't worry about the price. It's gonna. I just want to see if we can help, and we'll come to an arrangement that makes sense for you, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have everything you need? Do you like this?
I think. Do you send me this document?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna take
this email?
action. Yeah. Say again. Show me again. Yeah. Info@actin.org.
Info@actin.org.
Yeah. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I like this plan because this is all you really need to do. Like, yeah, the webinars, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, those things can work, and you can do them, no problem. But if you only did these things, you'll get to 100K. You don't even, that's it. You can just take this,
Any
run with it,
idea?
and you'll
So
get
should
100K.
how do I increase my email list, or should I not even try to do it?
Email list. I mean, the more people opt in, the bigger your email list is going to be, right? So like every time when you create a YouTube video, I don't know if you have a call to action at the end of your videos, but if you
I
do,
don't actually. Most
you
of the
don't.
time I don't. No.
Okay, well, you can just like sometimes it's just something simple like 30 seconds. Like, well, I'm not sure if you're aware. Once again, I have a MSK fellowship that can help people read MSK scans fast. If you want to check it out, link down below where you can learn more, where you can learn how I went from being completely clueless about MSK scans to becoming like super efficient right now, reading MSK scans in less than 30 days or 30 in less than a few minutes, or I don't know, like some sort of parameter. And I can teach you how to do the same. So check this out, click this link and watch this video I made for you.
I want to make like like a tiny video and then use the same video in every video.
Yeah, exactly. You can just snip it there.
Okay, very good. So how do we like what? So I do that and we'll see how it goes. And what's the next thing, or when do we meet, or how does that go?
That's it. I mean, just report back to me like how everything is going. I'll check in with you regardless each week, just to make sure that, hey, the new price point is good. Do you need any help on the emails? I'll be holding your hand throughout this process. So as always, if you have any questions, just ask me on school. We are going to start our weekly Q&A calls probably like end of this month, once we've gathered some more mastermind students and we kind of come to a time that makes sense. And so I was actually hoping to ask you what time would work best for you, because with your time zone, I just want to make sure that everyone can show up. So
what days were you thinking?
there's a few options. So there's Monday or Tuesday. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, so there's Monday and Tuesday night. This is Eastern time. Monday or Tuesday night. So somewhere at like 6 p.m. Eastern. I think that's really early for you.
GMT EST. So 6 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, that's 11 p.m. in the evening, right?
Yep.
Let me see. EST. What did you say? EST 6 p.m. 6. Yeah, that's 11 o'clock in the evening. I mean, that would be not impossible. 5 would maybe better, 5 p.m., but 11, I think I could probably do 11. How long do the Q&A calls last?
These calls probably half an hour because our mastermind group is rather small.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I think we can, I think Monday would be, let me just think, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, there's other options too, right? There's Monday, Tuesday night, or
Yeah,
there's Friday, Saturday morning. So
no, AM. Let me see what this 9 a.m. 9 a.m. EST. That's 2 p.m. Friday. That will be 2 p.m. in my afternoon. That will be actually even better for me.
okay,
so Friday 9 a.m. Eastern time. That would be great for me, because I'm trying to have Friday as my day for this business. Anyways, so that would be very good. Saturday not so much because of family and kids. And I have a Q&A call on Tuesday night. That would be 8 till 9. Yeah, maybe Monday rather than Tuesday. Monday 6. Yeah, I think would.
These two are your priorities?
Yeah, I think I would be able to Fridays, certainly Mondays, if I have like some pressing questions and stuff like that, or just also to see what other people's problems are. I think that would already be helpful. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna be speaking with the rest of the mastermind members as well, and so we'll kind of like obviously there's two preferences that you have, so I'll check in on with them, and it's gonna come to an arrangement that makes sense. If not, then one way that we can do it is like alternate. So like
Yeah,
week,
that's a good idea.
this is 1 week, this is the second week, and I know
Yeah.
Sam does that too. So because he gets a lot of European students as well.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you have everything you need, just keep me updated on school. Keep me updated on the progress there, and yeah, I'm really excited. I know with just these changes alone, you can hit this. There's no reason why you can't hit this either in March or April.
Okay, very good.
All right, fantastic. Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Chester. So I'll let you know.
Fantastic. All right. I really look forward to working
Yeah.
together. I mean, you're making really good progress even before we even started working together. So
yeah.
I'm super happy to see that.
Okay, good stuff. Okay. So have a nice weekend, and yeah, I'll let you know how it goes next week.
All right, take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.